All right. We are live again. Exciting. It's been multiple years since I've done this. Used to do it every week pre pandemic upstairs in my kids' playroom and on a metal, like a folding metal chair. So we are downstairs in a much more comfortable office, a much more comfortable chair, and ready to reinvigorate this and bring this back. So, for those of you that might be tuning in for the first time, this is a simple ask me anything. Any questions that you may have, there's nothing off limits. I will answer just about anything you put in the chat. We are live on my personal LinkedIn page channel, as it will be on LinkedIn Live. Also live on YouTube and Twitch on Kazi, my company's platforms. So youtube.com/@Kazi_IO. Same thing for Twitch. So very excited to be back. Looking forward to answering any and all of your questions. A good thing is that I'm very comfortable talking to no one. So if no one's here yet, I can do this all day. I am the king of awkward silence. I'm good at it. I'm exceptional. It is a unique skill that I have. So I'm pretty pumped about that to be able to flex that muscle, which I haven't flexed in a while. So, whatever platform you're on, feel free to drop those questions into chat and I will tackle them as promptly as possible. I will also highlight, which is a nice thing about this tool, is I can highlight the question that I'm addressing so that if you show up and I'm mid chat about a specific topic, we can see what we're talking about. Because back in the day, I used to try and juggle this Word doc and edit it in real time, showing what I was talking about. And there were times when I didn't get it edited and it was confusing for viewers, but we figured it out over time. If you are on Twitch, I assume you have Amazon Prime. Therefore, you have a free Amazon Prime subscription that you can throw my way. Help our channel out. Help us continue to have reason to do this. I certainly do it because I enjoy it, but also the feedback and validation that, hey, you're adding value makes a huge load of difference. So that is a good and exciting thing. Second, while we're waiting, making sure everybody is aware of the newsletter that I started earlier this year. It's called Leadership Lighthouse. It is on Substack. You should be able to find the link just about anywhere. I will add it here as well for anyone that is looking for that. New articles posted every Tuesday and Thursday. There is a paid level which gets you a fourth topic. So every fourth article that I post on there is reserved for paid subscribers. Also, the full catalog of all the posts that we have historically are available if you are part of the free subscription. I believe it's the first or the most recent 3 months. I'd have to check the setting, but I think it's 3 months. The most recent newsletters that you've received are available there. So I've got a new one queued up for tomorrow. I'm pretty excited about that. I am trying to hit folks relatively heavy and challenge them to really take a look at themselves and investigate ways for them to get better. Because so often as leaders, we are in a position where we are really focused on serving our team, our product, our customers, everything that's required of you. And often, shoemaker's children problem, we are the last to focus on ourselves, and we often don't focus on ourselves at all. I'm very guilty of that, so I understand the challenge. But when you don't focus on yourself, you put a ceiling on your capability as a leader, which, like it or not, creates a ceiling on the capability for your teams and your product. Because you are a major catalyst for success within your organization as a leader. Your capability to excel creates capabilities for others to excel. Great leaders accelerate entire groups of people. So you're missing an opportunity if you're not taking the time, if you're not forcing yourself, and you will likely have to force yourself to stop, take some stock, and really find ways for yourself to improve. It's not that you're not willing to improve. It's simply that you haven't created the space for yourself to improve. And that sometimes takes a little bit of a wake up call. So I am hopeful, fingers crossed, that tomorrow's Leadership Lighthouse newsletter strikes a chord with a whole bunch of people and they're reinvigorated and start doing the introspection that's required for them to be the best leader they possibly can be. Because that's all I'm after. That's all I want. I just want a whole bunch of great leaders just floating around, being awesome, creating awesome teams. That's what I'm after. And that's what's going to happen. It might take a little while. That's okay. Can't hold me down. Oh no. All right. While we wait for folks that have been caught off guard by the fact that I am back in the live streaming saddle, talk about in our most recent Metacast podcast, which I will add a link for here, which is going to be moving. Heads up, we're going to be migrating over to Substack as the host for our podcast. A ton of really good features there. Not only a ton of good features, it enables us to do a little bit more. There's a ton of behind the scenes work and highlights, lowlights, maybe depends on how you view it. That I create every week as a part of every episode, and I have nowhere to put them and no way to like sequester them safely. But Substack gives me the capabilities to do that, so I'm pretty excited about the additional value that we can bring to folks. That would be cool. Plus, Bob and I have started to focus a fair amount of our attention on Substack. So now it'll all be in one handy dandy little place. You can get everything you need there. So I'm looking forward to that. A lot of work though. This will be the third or fourth time I've moved hosting for our podcast. It's not a simple process because you have all of the aggregators that now you have to update and make sure that they're looking in the new spot. So that way all the RSS feeds and everything that they're consuming and publishing out is working well. So I'm excited, but a little hesitant because of the overall dauntingness, if that's a word, of the work ahead of me of making that happen. But it'll be a good thing. So I'll put my head down and I'll knock it out at some point, probably next month or so. But yeah, that'll be a challenge, but a good thing in the end. Okay. Let's do an over under. I'm excited. I don't have anything to gamble. We don't have anything. Uh, Super Rocks. Oh, wait a minute. There's background music here. What are we gonna go with? We're gonna go with a little bit of I have make an episode. That's exciting. Okay, back to the original question. Back to the wager. Over under on number of minutes until we get the first chat not generated by me. We are at 11 minutes and 7 seconds right now of live streaming to no one, which happens. That's okay. I live streamed to no one for weeks the first time I did this. So you learn the skill of how to manage this. I'm going to put the over under. I'm going to say 18 minutes. 18 minutes. We're going to get somebody that's going to come in, maybe a friend of mine, a former coworker that realizes, holy crap, he's streaming again. I'm going to come in and drop something. So 18 minutes. So that gives us now about 6 minutes for that to happen. All of you that are out there, which is no one, what do you think? Before or after 18 minutes? And no cheating. You can't go back and watch this after it's live on YouTube or Twitch where it's saved. You can't watch the replay and then bet. That's cheating. That's not fair. Not that you would win anything, but you shouldn't do that. That wouldn't be cool. All right. Take a beverage. My camera always auto adjusts whenever I take a drink. It doesn't adjust back. Like if you're reacting to the fact that, hey, the shape of your head has changed now because you put this giant cup in front of your face. When I remove it, Mr. Camera, I expect you to auto adjust back to this, to nicely centered, nicely laid out. But no, you don't do that. So, all right. Ooh, less than 5 minutes until my forecasted first viewer chat drops. Hold on to your horses. It's going to be a fun ride for 5 minutes here. Let's see, other updates in the Josh realm of content creation. We have Leadership Lighthouse, my Substack. Link is in the chat. We have my podcast, which has been around for ever, since people were actually buying iPods. I actually had an iPod. It was pretty sweet. Then I dropped it on some gravel. It got scratched. That was a difficult day, but it still worked, which was like weird to me after carrying around a Discman or something like that and having to like walk smoothly just so the CD didn't skip. But I dropped it and all my music was fine, so that was pretty cool. So yeah, podcast. I have started working on a book. I have a friend that's going to help me co-author that because I've tried writing books before a handful of times and have not been successful. So I've decided to enlist the help of experts. So we're going to get something out, and I am hopeful to be able to share early drafts of that with various folks. That feedback would be very helpful to hear what's landing, what doesn't. More on that as it evolves. Working on a handful of online courses as well. The first one I'm working on is around building a product-driven organization. I've seen in so many of my travels where the actual issue within an organization isn't the engineering team. It's not their capability to deliver or anything. It is the lack of a product function. all of the work is being done. All the product work has to happen of what are we going to build? What order are we going to build it in? The question is anybody's brain allocated in making that a reality? And if so, how much of their brain is allowed to be focused on that? Because product stuff has to happen. You have to decide what's next. Too often it happens too late. And that just is a issue for a lot of reasons, which ultimately leads to a poorly delivered product. Not at the fault of the engineering team, mind you. They are doing their best. They are doing their darndest, but they find out super last minute, oh, we need to build this thing, and it would be really cool. In fact, we have to have it out by this date. That leads to an inability to do the proper inspection, lay the proper foundation, architecture, everything that goes into that, and actually build you a truly solid, scalable product. So you get things whipped together last minute. Doesn't always work out. Okay, 16 minutes, 50 seconds. That means we have, as of right now, 1 minute. 1 minute until we find out if Josh's fictitious wager comes true. I guess the fact that I said in the 18th minute, I didn't do the over under. So I set the target at 18 and a half minutes. So I'll consider a victory if somebody posts a chat, not me, in the 18th minute of our broadcast. I don't win if it's 19th minute or after that. So we'll see. Just so you know, wagering is not a strong skill of mine. It's not something I allow myself to do very often. I enjoy it. It's fun. I'm very happy that sports gambling is legal here in North Carolina, but I also know what I'm good at and I know what I'm not good at. And sports gambling is not a skill that I possess. All right, we are in the 18th minute. Who's going to do it? Somebody, come on. Help me win this one. Just give me that. Just give me that little bit of yeah, Josh was right on this one. I'm ready. It's okay. Just a hi. Hey. What's going on? That'll work. This is when we can't give up hope. 15 seconds. We can't give up hope. Gotta hold on. Somebody's gonna make this happen. 10 seconds. 3. I lost. That's okay. It was a pretty ridiculous bet for me to pick this magical minute. Did not work. Did not pan out. But that's okay. All right, so next item of discussion. If no one shows for 30 minutes, I'm going to shut it down. Ideally, these will last about an hour. Depends on how the discussion is going as to whether it rolls over or not. But ideally, I like to have these last about an hour. I found I can deliver pretty good content in this framework for about an hour. But if no one's here, then that's fine. Because you know what? Next week, we'll be back. Oh, yeah. And we'll have somebody add a comment before the 18th minute. Maybe even before the 30th minute. We'll see. Let's see. So this week, Friday, we have another podcast recording session. Don't know what the topic is going to be yet. We've really worked to get better at topic creation prior to that. We do have some good guests lined up, though. I'm excited about that. Early in June, We have a author. Let me find. We will have David Pereira joining us. He's got a book that he's just written. In fact, he's helping me with some ideas on how to get my book written. So excited to chat about him and be able to highlight the work that he's doing. He's got a Substack that is pretty darn good. Let me link that here. It's called Untrapping Product Teams. I certainly would encourage everybody to subscribe to that. I believe it's recommended on my Substack, so should be able to find it there as well. I like his work. It's good content, so definitely give it a check. All right. All right, now the countdown is on. 8 more minutes. Do we get a comment? Do we get somebody that says, daggone it, Josh? I am really excited you're back. Back to live streaming. It was my favorite part of the week. And he brought it back. Thank you. The issue there's an issue with LinkedIn. So the LinkedIn Live is just kind of slow. It's a little behind, if you will. So comments, if you drop your comments in there, it's gonna be a little bit. So yeah. Also, it's weird. It says I was live. I am live. So LinkedIn, I'm still live. That's okay. We'll get it sorted out. We'll figure it out. This is the first and one of my favorite phrases when I'm coaching teams and organizations and we're launching new meetings, new patterns, new practices is the first is the worst. Hey, thank you for the follow. Short-lived in M. I hope you're long-lived in life. Thanks for the follow on Twitch. So we can't count that. That's interaction. We can't count that as our first chat. So short-lived. I don't know what you want me to call you. I'll call you, pretty much whatever. Tell me is the right thing to call me. Now's your chance to get any question answered. Generally focused in leadership, technology, things like that. Now's your chance. You're all alone. You don't have to compete with anybody. Or are you a bot? Because a significant portion of my followers, I think of most people's followers, except for the big players, of course, on Twitch are bots. Or they simply followed in hopes that you follow them back. They aren't really there to follow you, but they're trying to get followers themselves. So I appreciate the hustle that they're putting in, trying to make that a reality. But true followers, I actually have a pretty good history of followers on Twitch. A lot of good stuff has happened on Twitch. I enjoy the platform. Yes, there's competitors. Kick is going to be I have an account on Kick. I haven't done much there. I haven't invested there, but we'll see where things go. I also want to get this on Facebook. So I've got a couple plans there. I get a decent amount of traction from my newsletter on things that get auto posted out of my newsletter. So given that this is in the same realm, I'm gonna have this drop out to Facebook Live there as well, which will be a new channel for me. Not a huge fan of Facebook, but if it helps me help people, then I'm good. I'm down. All right, here we go. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. We have no chats in 4 minutes. It's time for Josh to shut it down. And what usually happens, historically, the trend is that as I start to wrap things up, that seems to be that extra little bit of encouragement that people need of, oh gosh, I got to hurry up and ask a question. The number of times I've started wrapping up a stream only to have somebody drop in a question or three, and then I answer those. So we'll see if that trick works again. It's not really a trick. It's just a weird anomaly of life, I guess. So we're going to start shutting it down in 3 minutes and 6 seconds. So queue up those questions. Think about what's bothered you this past week, this past 2 weeks. What maybe you wish you could have done better. What maybe you wish somebody else could have done better. How can you help them learn? It doesn't always have to be about you. Maybe you've got a peer that you know is trying super hard to get better. They're struggling. They need a little bit of help. Free coaching right here every week, Wednesday. Come and get it. Or don't. That seems to be the trend today. May 15th. Maybe there's something weird with the date. I don't know. Maybe it's Wednesdays. I tried to pick a good time. 1 o'clock on the East Coast gives you still evening-ish. Maybe running into dinner in Europe, but also gives you decent timing out on the West Coast. So we'll see. We've had challenges in the past trying to find the right time because we had folks in Europe and folks on the West Coast. So trying to create something that was early enough for the folks in Europe, but not too early for the folks on the West Coast. That's a difficult problem to solve. But that's okay. I think we can handle it. It's a good problem to have to solve. So, all right, people. 1 minute. 30 seconds. All it takes is one to keep me streaming. Or maybe you don't want that. That's okay too. So as a reminder, showing up late. We're on Twitch. We're on LinkedIn Live. We're on YouTube. LinkedIn Live is on my personal LinkedIn channel. Personal LinkedIn account, I guess. Look at how they phrase that. On Twitch and YouTube, we are on Kazi's account. So it should be KAZI_IO. That way get to our account there. Chats. We'll be working on all 3 systems. LinkedIn is the slowest. So if you have a question, you want to get it posted, while LinkedIn is handy, your chat delay is pretty lengthy on LinkedIn. So just beware, viewers, depending on how frisky you're going to be with your comments and how rapid fire you want to shoot them off. We'll tell you which platform to go to. All right. There it is. We have successfully streamed for 30 minutes with no one. There's potential here for short-lived in M. No real validation that they were actually viewing. We just have validation that they chose to follow on Twitch, which is cool. I'm down for that. But that's okay. As I said, when I started this the first time, pre-pandemic, multiple weeks streaming to no one. So you can't break me. I'll be here. I'll be here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. 1 p.m. Eastern. On LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Twitch, and potentially some others. We'll see. We'll see what I can cook up here in the background. But until then, wish you all the best with all of your leadership goals. When you have questions, when you have concerns, when you just need a little bit of help, that's what we're here for. Whether we're live or on any of those channels, hit me up. We'll get you hooked up and helped out. All right. Thank you for not tuning in. And I will see you. Yeah, I will see everybody that didn't tune in this week. Everybody's going to be there next week. Yeah, it's going to happen. Looking forward to it. All right. We'll see you.